Saber versus conocer. They both mean to know. So how do we know when to use which to know? Well, let's take a look. So first let's start with saber, to know. Sé, I know. Remember the yo form is irregular. Sé. Sabes, you know. Sabe, he, she knows. Sabemos, we know. Sabéis, y'all know. And saben, they know. Remember, sabes, I say y'all because it's a different dialect in Spain, and even though they aren't literally saying y'all when they're talking, I just want you to remember that just like in Texas, they have a different dialect than we do in Washington. Same thing, Spain versus Mexico, Spain versus Argentina, wherever. So sé, sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, saben. Those are our conjugations. And please pause the video if you haven't had a chance to write that down. So, usos de saber. When do we use saber? Anything you can Google, basically, is saber, because saber is for information, data, and facts. So here are some specific examples. If you say, do you know where something is? Think, hey, I could look that up on MapQuest, right? Or maybe if you say, where's the bathroom in the school? You could look that up on a map of the school, which are usually posted. 2, someone's name. You could look it up somewhere. Think like yearbook. You can usually look people up online, which is kind of creepy, but someone's name is a fact or information. How many students are there in a class? You could look that up, and besides that, it's a fact, it's data. And the capital of Washington, we could look that up, and again, it's a fact. It doesn't have any opinion to it. So facts, information, data are saber. A good way to think of it is anything you can Google. So, more uses of saber. When a question word is used in a sentence, it's always saber. So here's some examples. Do you know who the new math teacher is? Who is a question word, and you're just asking a fact question. Do you know who the new teacher is? Not do you know him well, right? ¿Sabes quién es el profesor nuevo de matemáticas? She knows where the bathroom is. So, she knows where, ¿dónde está? Right? So, ella sabe dónde está el baño. So, ¿dónde está is a question word. So, even though it's in a sentence, not in a question, it's still sabe, because there's a question word in the sentence. So, anytime you have a question word in your sentence, it's got to be saber. Another use for saber is knowing how to do something. So, if we say, we know how to ski, it's just sabemos esquiar. And you do not use como in your sentence. You don't need it. Sabemos esquiar is good enough. We don't say sabemos cómo esquiar. It's just sabemos esquiar. You always use the infinitive of the verb. So esquiar is not conjugated. Whenever you have 2 verbs in a row, sabemos is your first verb, esquiar is your second, you only conjugate the first verb. So whenever you know how to do something, it's saber. So let's give another example. Sé nadar. I know how to swim. So I know how to swim, all in one sentence. Conocer, the other to know. So what's left? What else do we know? Let's get the conjugations first. Conozco. So this is just like ser or saber, that the yo form is a little crazy. So conozco. The rest are normal. Conoces, you know. Conoce, he, she, or you formal knows. Conocemos, we know. Conocéis, y'all know. And conocen, they know or you guys know. So these are the other to knows, all forms of conocer. And did you think of anything else that we know? You know, facts, data, information, how to do something. We know where something is. What else is there left to know? Hopefully you said people. You know people, like really know them. So when you're acquainted with something or somebody, or you've met or been somewhere, then this is conocer. So it's a deeper level than just surface. So I know the teacher. He is nice. So you at least know he's nice. You don't just know his name. That is conocer. Conozco al profesor. Es simpático. So you know him. They know Seattle well. They say downtown is the best. So they can give you advice. They can tell you where to go. They can tell you what's the best part or what to do. or where the best coffee shop is. So if they could tell you a lot of information, they know it. Conocen. Ellos conocen Seattle bien. Dicen que el centro es mejor. So, conocen. Conocer is for things you're acquainted with or things you know really well. So let's see if you can decipher between the two. We have 5 practice sentences. Do you know where your classes are? They know how to swim. We know the new student. I know who your sister is. You guys know Sumner. So give those 5 a try, and then I'll go over them with you. And again, I usually have you pause the video because I don't wait long enough for you to do all 5. So now is a good time to pause. So number 1, if you haven't paused yet, here we go. Do you know where your classes are? So what is our key word in here to help you know? Is it saber or conocer? Could I Google this? Do you know where your classes are? You might not be able to Google it, but you could probably look at a map, and we have a question word, where, in it. So it's got to be saber. So it'd be sabes dónde están tus clases? Dos, they know how to swim. How to. Which one is the how to know? Saber, they know. So saben nadar. And if you put in como, take it out. Saben nadar, they know how to swim. We know the new student. Knowing a person. I didn't say we know his name or her name. We know them. So it's conocer. Conocemos al nuevo estudiante. O estudiante nuevo. I know who your sister is. Keywords to know if it's saber or conocer. Who is a question word, so it's got to be saber. I know. Say, careful, remember it's irregular. Say, ¿quién es tu hermana? So, since I know who she is, I could just point to her. I maybe don't know anything about her, but I know who she is. It's just saber. You guys know Sumner. Most likely, you know it pretty well. We are not talking about where it is. We're talking about knowing it. So, you guys is the they form, saben. And then Sumner. Oops, muy mal. Hubieras dicho no. You should have said no, Mrs. Rios. You know it. Should be conocen Sumner. Because you know it well. Right? Conocen. So you know where it is saben. They know where it is would be saben. You guys know Sumner is conocen Sumner. Muy bien. Good catch on that error. Muy bien. Thank you for listening.